blink and you might miss it, because that map was about the fastest that we could possibly ever have at Overwatch. The next one, though, it's going to be Anubis, which could be fast, and it could be actually take as long as it could possibly go. We are heading to our first 2CP map of the entire night. We haven't seen any just yet. What do you think about Anubis these days, ZP?
Anubis is interesting. I think that the new time bank system that Blizzard put in recently actually made Anubis far more playable. I know that Anubis and Hanamura and Volskaya in general are not the most popular with the players, but I do think they're pretty playable, and I do think you see a lot of back-and-forth games where you do have a lot of tension over teams warring over time, and frankly, I don't think teams scrim on it. Like, you talk to teams what they scrim. Where are they going to scrim? Hollywood, Kings Row, sort of all the favorites, but they don't put a lot of time into it. So oftentimes in the course of a game, as you go back and forth, you will see teams come out with new strategies and new looks that they're sort of come up on the fly because, frankly, they don't put the effort into practicing these maps as much as they do the other maps. So that's the cool thing for me in seeing these maps. They get played in a real tournament situation like this because they dig in the map pool. The teams can't avoid it. And they do have to adapt on the fly, and I think we do get good matches out of it more often than not.
Yeah, I'm actually, I feel great about the 2CP maps after, at least compared to prior to the time bank change. Time bank change definitely makes these maps feel a little bit more well-rounded. In general, it's never going to be a 4-minute match anymore, so, well, rarely at least. So good to see that the Blizzard is approaching these maps and thinking really critically how to change them up so they make a little bit more sense in the competitive standpoint. And I actually like Anubis now, especially with the changes to the second capture point. It feels a lot less defensive oriented. So I'm actually excited to see what comes out here. Will the attacking team go left? Will they go right? Will they send a Genji through the secret window? Maybe even a D.Va. Will we see a D.Va today? We haven't even seen any D.Va yet. Which is actually an interesting talking point because NA really likes D.Va, EU not so much. So if I was a betting man, I think we might see some D.Va.
The thing about D.Va is that when she came out with the new changes, everyone was just constantly saying, okay, D.Va is the most overpowered thing ever and ridiculous. And yet, as we've gone on, we still see plenty of D.Va, but it's not 100% pick rate. So if you're looking at from a balance designers perspective, you're going, maybe she is in a good spot and players just knee-jerk reacted. Because players, if there's one thing they do, you basically can't trust them on patch day because they just overreact to everything.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, players, but it is true. But
it's 100% true. Every time. But look at this. Interesting pick. Mangachu is opting with Torbjorn. Very much falling out. We used to see Torbjorn on defense quite frequently. Not so much anymore. The entirety of Method's going to run right into that turret, which means it does absolutely nothing at all. Is there time to get another turret up? That's the question.
Mangachu, I think, is playing far enough back they should be able to get another turret up. Unfortunately, didn't do enough delaying there. But Torbjorn, sometimes you get high value. Sometimes your turret just dies. But look at this. We have Ned right now forcing the issue, going to the backline as Winston. They're trying to sort of pincer Method in right now. And it's working out. His ultimate weapon gets caught out, taken out by Wolf immediately. Turret goes down again, but thus far this defensive look by NG not being too shabby against Method. Method needs to make a move sooner rather than later, or they will just get picked apart.
Yeah, and actually take a look at Mangachu's ultimate percentage. Because he put those two turrets up, even though they didn't get a whole lot of kills, they've mainly been just going down, he almost already has the ultimate. So as long as he can get a level 2 turret, it's going to become a super beast in just a second here. But he can't seem to actually keep it up long enough, unfortunately, for him. That said, this has been a weird, prolonged battle. Ultimate Web does pull out his sword, but is killed right away. And Snow trying to come from behind with the Deadeye. Has to back off, though.
Yeah, this is the problem with Method's push here is that they've just been getting slowly picked apart. Snow does take out Bread Expert there. Killing Lucio is always a huge deal. But NG's going to hold on here, and it comes down to the fact that Method has basically been chaining deaths on the high ground for a while, but Snow does come out, does get one pick off. Ultimate weapon on the Genji, finally takes out Mangachu, moving in, has space to move. Here comes the Blade on a double kill right now, making a triple. It's a quad. Ultimate weapon has had enough of point A here on Anubis.
Yeah. A decent hold, holding for 2 minutes or so, but it has come to an end, and we're going to be moving on to the second capture point here on Anubis with Method moving straight forward. Let's see if they'll be able to keep this momentum. At least it does seem like NG is going to have plenty of time here to set up, and they're still sticking with the Torbjorn. He still has his ultimate, didn't have an opportunity to use it in that last fight. And of course, when the turret is upgraded to level 3, it does kind of go beast mode.
It absolutely goes beast. So it's one of the hardest ults to actually push into. I mean, you can kill a Molten Core turret, but it takes such disproportionate resources that unless it's only a Torbjorn standing in your way, it's usually not worth it. So next team fight, NG should have a pretty large advantage. If Psycho opens up his sound barrier here, he's going to do that. This could get answered very heavily. The Graviton Surge does come in, though. Method is out for blood. They're looking for that important kill. They're not able to get it. However, due to that transcends from nap time, and the defense for now looks like they're going to... Oh, my God!
Are you serious?
The Diva Bomb! Nerf this!
Oh,
God. Everything was looking good until that explosion.
It got the turret, too.
Yeah, they don't understand. I don't understand.
Nobody seems to understand what's going on here.
Was it a bug?
I don't know. I mean, I hope it gets play of the game so we can see that one from the perspective of Diva.
I don't.
Unexpected to say the least. It took out the level 3 turret and everything. And, you know, Diva's ultimate had a huge buff in the latest patch, but you still rarely see kill sprees like... Oh, wait.
It looks like it went over the wall and then clipped through the wall. Is that a thing? I don't know. Okay. I mean, I need a better look at it, but... Can
we run that over again? Oh, man. I need to see that one more time.
Because it is weird to see that many people get caught by Diva ult. I mean, maybe it's just the greatest Diva ult of all time. Okay, we're going to the...
Okay. It's above them? No, that looked good. That looked right to me.
I think that was legitimate. I don't think they were LOS. Might be wrong.
Wow.
I mean, I want to trust the players a little bit, but maybe sometimes you get bopped by a gigantic Diva ult. Esports.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good throw. It went right behind the Reinhardt shield from our perspective. And we might get one more chance to take a look at that later. That said, first cap has gone here for Method, and it was done in about 4 minutes, which honestly is pretty standard. Fairly standard. Pretty quick, but not the quickest.
I think it's one of those things where both offense and defense can feel kind of okay about it. For the defense, they know, okay, we can beat this. And for the offense, they know, well, no matter what, they're not going to beat this by too much, even if they do beat it, unless we totally fold. So, middle of the road, not the worst.
Yeah. All right, switching sides. It's now NG's turn to attack, and it looks like they're going to be opting for Winston and Diva. So Winston and Diva can, in some situations, play similar roles, but of course, Diva's X factor is that defensive matrix. It's going to give your team so much freedom to move straight through choke points and things like that. That's why a lot of teams really do like to play with Diva. Also, maybe the ultimate after this.
Yeah, well, the ultimate, you can replicate that ultimate for sure. And the interesting thing about Diva, too, is that she's what really fueled offenses being super powered early on in this patch. I think teams have gotten more used to dealing with it. But here comes Mangachu. He is on the Pharah, so we do have the Pharah side. Takes out Zen right away. It's a very good opening here from Mangachu. Of course, we were talking about his Pharah in the pregame. Right now, he is bringing it. Moving in, looking for the Lucio pick. Needs one more rocket. Lucio in danger. Will he get it? He does take out Psycho. So Mangachu opening the way as Pharah. Pharah fans rejoice as NG saying a pretty quick time here, 0.8. It's definitely faster than what Method did.
I'm just stoked, dude. I'm excited to see Pharah and Mercy back into the gameplay, and maybe, just maybe, this is a sign that Northern Gaming should say, screw the meta, screw the normal picks. We're gonna go with what we're good at, because obviously it's working. I mean, they were able to capture that first point in a very, very, very solid time. Let's see how they can do on the second. I mean, Method may have been caught off guard by the Pharah pick because it just is so rare these days, but here comes Mangachu looking for a flank. He's going to try to come from behind. He is damage boosted, so every rocket's so very potent here.
Yep, he's looking for it. Almost gets it. It does take out Zenyatta before dying the snow. Still decent momentum here for NG.
Are we going to see a res?
See if this is
nap time is close.
No, he doesn't have the res just yet. He's waiting for it. No, he's going to go down. Ultimate weapon, cleaning house in the backfield. Will stop nap time. Wolf still doing some work here, but he is viciously outnumbered. Most of his friends are dead. Does have Diva for support, though. Here comes the Dragon Blade. They're not giving this up yet, but Xe, nothing kills Genji like a shotgun to the back.
Yeah, and Northern Gaming is striking back with a vengeance, but Ultimate Weapon responding. So still a chance to beat that time of 3 minutes and 45 seconds set by Method. Still one more opportunity to do so, but it's starting to look closer and closer to parity now as the momentum has begun to dry up for Northern Gaming.
Yeah, for NG, I mean, right now their best case scenario, they take this on the next push, and then it's pretty much going to be relatively even time-wise. They lose the next push, they'll be somewhat behind. If they lose after that, then they really have to worry, but we'll see how things go. A lot of ultimates are in their favor. Might even see a barrage. Certainly we'll see a res here. The Diva ult does take out Ultimate Weapon. That's a gigantic pick. Mangachu over the top. The barrage takes out Snow, and he might just get res here. Oh no, nap time went down.
Oh no, that's terrible.
That is the one thing that they needed not to have happen, because now Method might be able to pull us back. The res would have secured it.
They've done it. They've done it. They've pulled it back on the back of Xe's Reaper. And one more chance to try and beat this time. I don't think it's possible. but obviously, of course, they do want to cap at any time. So we're going to see if that can happen. And Naptime hasn't been able to pull the trigger on that ultimate yet. And unfortunately for Mercy players out there, if you don't get the big res, it's really not the right pick. I mean, even with the damage boost on the Pharah, it's only 30%. It's not like Zenyatta's Discord Orb, which gives 50% extra damage to everyone on your team attacking that one player.
Naptime ideally is looking for the 3-person res, or at the very least a 2-person tempo res in a fight that's already kind of going NG's way here. Unfortunately, he did die towards the end. He was about to go for the res, but it was too little too late. He will have the res for the next fight. So here comes Exi though, Death Blossom on the way. Is part of why Zodex dies there. Mangachu though, retaliating. Might get res here by Naptime. Naptime has to be thinking res.
All right, if Naptime can't get a good res here, then I gotta feel like he's gotta switch. Okay, he does res 2 or 3 in that push, but Ultima Web is collecting even more. So Ultima Web equalizes things 100%, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a switch up. Naptime has got to feel bad about this right now. Yes, indeed. He's going on over to Zenyatta. The Discord Orb, man, it's just too strong in the meta right now. And
the other thing there, too, is that was just great teamwork coming out from Chronic and Ultima Weapon. Chronic knocked them down. Ultima Weapon cleaned them up. Earthshatter, Dragon Blade, a great way of dealing with that there. And Earthshatter came down mid-res, so it really hurt the momentum gaining power of res. And Chronic was just saving it for that exact moment. They didn't force it out of him earlier, so he was able to go, okay, they have a res. I'm just going to wait for it.
Alas, the Pharah Mercy dream was short-lived, as we do have a Reaper and a Zenyatta back into the meta, playing into the hands of Method here. Unfortunately, not able to keep the momentum going for NG, and they have just been shut down again entirely. They weren't even. Oh, they were able to only get 1 kill in that last engagement, and they don't have any ultimates to their name. Not even one. They're not even close to a handful of ultimates at this point. So the time ticks down ever further, and Method feels ever more comfortable about their lead. And then they're also up 1 map. So
yeah, I was gonna say.
Good.
Let's talk about the stakes going in here. Is that for NG, their tournament life could be on the line here. Method has already won King's Row. They're doing really well here on Anubis. Even if NG caps it now, they're still going to be in a time deficit of 2 minutes, 15 seconds. They really need something to happen soon, but you look at Method going to this next fight, they have Dragon Blade and Death Blossom at the ready. NG has to play this super perfectly for it to go. Ultimate Weapon, though, takes out Lucio immediately. Here comes Exi on the back line, and this is the worst case scenario for NG, because guess what? Not only are they wiping, it's not even a productive wipe as much as they want. They bait out the Dragon Blade, but Death Blossom is still in there, so they didn't even fully drain Method's ults on that wipe.
And ZP, you gotta feel like there's a little bit of a lack of communication going on the NG side. And we just saw it right there on the screen. In Naptime, as Zenyatta, all by himself, Reaper comes right up to him, and nobody really reaches out to help that Zenyatta. You need Zen in that fight. You need the Discord Orb. You need him to stay alive, and that did not happen for NG.
Well, right now, what NG needs, they need Ned to step it up, find a way of putting everyone in a full-on group hug. Graviton is at the ready, and it's really landing good. Graviton's the only way Method's going to win this, NG's going to win this, and Method, they have to avoid the Death Blossom. Here comes Exi in the back. Death Blossom at the ready. Ultimate Weapon does fall through. 2 kills from Ultimate Weapon from that damage. And the Graviton did come out from that. It got him 1 kill, but not much else. Still, though, 2 kills here from NG. They're still trying to fight it out, but if Method gets just 1 more kill, that should be it. But no, Mangachu, in the end, gets the triple kill, finally cracking open this Method defense, and this might be all they need.
That's all you need, a huge triple kill. That's it, guys. Pretty simple stuff. Here comes the rest of Method. They're going to try to run back onto the point. They don't have much time. They are delaying as best as they can. And Ultima Web actually able to get the first kill with the Dragon Blade. So looking good for Method to hold on even longer here, as Wolf trying anything, trying everything. He's switched on over to Tracer, which I don't hate in this position, but I kind of prefer Genji on this last point. There's so many obstacles to climb over, duck and weave as an adept Genji that I almost prefer to see him stick with it.
I would prefer to see the Genji here. The problem that they have going forward is that the Genji, even if they were on it right now, would not get a Dragon Blade with the 2 minutes left. Or I mean, maybe it would, but it'd be very late. I think they're just hoping to take this on the next fight. It's going to be difficult. Oh, what an Earthshatter. Chronic reading them like a book, sets them up for a 3K. This push from NG is gone. And Ben, going into the next fight, this is really going to be NG's last push coming up.
That hurts, because Red Expert had used his sound barrier a split second before that Earth Shatter came out. So it shattered the entire team, got rid of the sound barrier, and back to the drawing board once more.
that was, you talk about this a lot in fighting games, reading the opponent, figuring when they're going to stop blocking. Well, Chronic figured out when Zodex was going to stop blocking there, to horrifying results for NG. So NG, they need this to happen here. They're going to have to go in against Sound Barrier. It's not great. 2 support ultimates will be there to stymie them, but they need to get the picks nonetheless. As Snow right now for the defense, 2 kills here from Method. Method just piling on, and things are not looking good for NG.
Yeah, this has got to be a real moment for NG to just, oh man, I can't imagine how bad this feels for them right now, being absolutely smashed by a team that is certainly the underdog in this fight. NG has played so well. As recently as a month ago, was considered a top 3, maybe top 5 team in NA, who's arguably the stronger region right now between any region. But this is looking as one-sided as it possibly could now, as Method holding strong. But really, I gotta say, NG not looking like their former self.
I mean, right now, this is a classic case of a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Let's not take away from Method. They're playing great right now, but NG is clearly well below what we've expected. But here they go. They move in, and another great earth shot by Chronic. Knocks down 3. He has been reading them so well the last few pushes. Zodex gets a decent earth shot of his own, picks up 2 kills, setting it up, but unfortunately his team's dying around him. Ultimate weapon slicing to ensure just that. Exit with the fall through. 8 seconds remaining, and this is going to be 2-0 in favor of Method. NG, while they might have the points to get to the final, I think they'll have the points to get to the final playoffs.
Barely.
They are not going to get one of the qualifying spots.
Yeah, that's rough, as NG goes down in a very one-sided game there. And in the end, I almost have to feel that Chronic was, at least on Anubis, really the MVP for Method. I mean, those Earth Shatters negated 2 support ultimates in a row. They just got Sound Barrier up, completely negated. They just get Zenyatta's ultimate up, completely negated, and there's the D.Va kill for you, as the D.Va sails right over that Reinhardt shield. Well placed, and well-deserved kills from it.
It was good to see Pharah, though. It didn't quite work out for NG, but always good to see.
It worked out for a moment.
It
looked good.
It looked good on the first point. I think if they had switched up, maybe it would have been better after that. Once it's more of a switch up to sort of catch people off guard than seems like something you want to run all the time.
And here we're seeing Ultimate Wep was known as one of the better Genjis in the very early phases of the beta, still holding a title as the top Genji in North America, and proving it here in this matchup in dominant fashion.
That was Mangachu's great play. That was where we thought, really, that NG could have taken that, but it was great on Method to come back out. And that Earth Shot right there, that is beauty. What Chronic did to do that was just amazing.
I mean, as someone that plays a bit of Reinhardt, I know that feels so bad when you have the shield up and you decide to go for a Fire Strike or you decide to go for a charge. The other Reinhardt has the perfect timing. You get knocked on your ass. Feels real bad, man. All right, we've been joined again by our good friend Machine.
Someone else who feels real bad.
What a series!
Yeah, I just can't believe how quick that was, gentlemen. I mean, I was in disbelief that I was already making my way back to this desk. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So you guys know, basically, Machine is the omen of death. We're here at the cast, and we're looking here as the game is about to wrap up, and Machine's walking in, so like, all right, it's over.
Yeah,
Machine, he is the angel of death.
I've got it wrong at least once. Once I've got it wrong, and I've come and sat down and gone, looks like I'm here for another map. No, but normally, yes, I do have a good understanding of how badly that was going for NG. I mean, we can all appreciate that little bit of that spark from Mangachu and Mercy, that looked really nice for a moment. I was getting very excited just to see not only was the Mercy like damage boosting him, he got the pick on the Zenyatta and the Lucio on the break, and I was sitting there like, okay, NG has got something to give here. You make the great point though, ZP, that it was more of a case of something different, something just to quickly like throw a bit of a spanner in the works. He even got, the displacement. He managed to displace the Reinhardt, so suddenly everything fell apart. It looks okay for NG, but as a whole, I think we have to not fall into the trap of just criticizing NG. Can we just quickly focus on what Method did right? Because a 2-0 victory versus Northern Gaming, you've made it abundantly clear why this is a surprise. What did they do right, ZP? We'll start with you. What was it that Method did so right, especially on Anubis? I think that we'll primarily focus there.
Going back to the early days of One Chub, one of the things that we really gave a lot of credit to was Chronic and his tank play. I think he has ups and downs, but clearly today was one of the big ups. He had so many good reads as Reinhardt, really put the team on his back. Of course, there was the D.Va bomb. That was
nice.
The D.Va bomb of questionable.
I love
that. I feel like it was a legit D.Va bomb. I might be wrong, but certainly it caught NG off guard.
I don't know if the stream saw the chat. Could you see it? Oh, it was so. I was sitting behind the observers and just seeing the players. Wolf was like, "I'm pretty sure I was behind a pillar." Yeah. One was like, "I was in spawn, dude," and they're like having this big rant about that D.Va bomb. Was it 4 or 5? It was like
it felt like it was 5.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. The other thing, though, if you want to give credit to where credit's due to Method, coordination between XC and Ultra Weapon on King's Row. It was beautiful. Not only did they crack point A, but they made the Streets phase look easy. And it's why they were able to set such a quick time to where, even though NG came back roaring, it just wasn't enough.
Not enough at all. We even saw a Torbjorn pop up and do its duties. I mean, Ben, was there anything to kind of write home about Torbjorn? I just saw that turret dying endlessly.
I mean, if anything, it was cool that that Mangachu was able to get his ultimate up so quick. But in the end, it didn't do much. Yeah. Every time the turret was up, the entirety of Method was pushing into it at once. And that turret's only good when your entire team's supporting it. It's the 7th man. But if it's 1 versus 6, it's going to go down in a split second. Even when he was able to pop out the ultimate, it just wasn't enough. We saw the D.Va bomb just take it out very quickly.
And that's where we're going next. Yes. You mentioned the D.Va bomb. Right. You at home, you haven't got your spectacles on. ZP has. So everyone get your glasses on. Get under a microscope. We're going to look at our incredible play of the game brought to you by ROG. So I'm going to lock my eyes on this monitor as we do load it on in. This is, of course, thanks to Republic of Gamers, letting us highlight every single incredible play that we do witness over the course of this Overwatch weekend. The 4th one of the Overwatch Open, our final chance to see who's going to lock into those playoff spots. And it was none other than Chronic rocking that D.Va. So keep your eyes on it. He throws it into the sky. Now, where does it go? Nice and slow. It looks like it's in line. I think the timing, it is legit. I think that timing just meant...
legit to me.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Well CP is not sure.
No, I think it was legit. I will say this, that there's this idea where people go, why aren't there more comp highlights on Reddit? It's just like, the joke is you just need big D.Va bombs. Well, that is a big D.Va bomb.
Get us on Reddit.
You get no bigger than that.
And, I mean, you were talking about Chronic and his tank play. He went from having the, very influential shockwaves to having that D.Va bomb. He did it all. So probably, I think it's safe to say the desk is giving our MVP to Chronic after that performance. Great to see. And in a round of 16 to see the underdogs pick up a 2-0. Very refreshing. A nice crisp sip of the Overwatch beverage. And now we do go ahead and head to a quick break. First, though, I want you to let us know what you thought about that surprise result. Want to see more from NG? Want to see more of D.Va bombs? Do hit us up with the hashtag OWOpen. If you want to understand what on earth is going on here. He keeps talking about Overwatch Open. What does this thing in front of them mean? OverwatchOpen.com is where you get all of that information. It's the best resource for all your scheduling, for all your prize money, for all your teams, all of that info in one place. You go check that out, and we do take a break. When we come back, it's time for quarterfinal 1. Still, many big headline organizations are in this tournament, and we'll be seeing how they play out after the break.